Hello. Okay, so I said I was going to show you how to stay inquisitive or stay curious without being nosy. These are two very distinct and sensitive things, okay? So I've heard people say, you are too inquisitive, you're too curious, you're, and someone else, they tell someone else, you're too nosy or you're being nosy. No, there's a difference, all right? So I'm just going to tell you the difference. First, when you're inquisitive, you become curious. I had to write these things down so that I was actually editing pictures here on my system before I got to the ideas started popping up on my head. That's just me, it just flows. So I decided to put them down as it was flowing, then and share immediately. So I didn't even prepare or pre-plan this. Okay, so okay, so inquisitive, you become curious. You want to know about a thing, you want to learn, you want to either help someone or use it for a help or just for a future purpose. You want to use it for something good, you want to use it to do something, you want to use it to learn and understand something, all right? And then when you're nosy, you get into other person's affair, you're trying to poke into people's lives, you're trying to put yourself, and you're trying to know this thing about this person, know this thing about this other person, and this kind of thing. And it's actually most times not useful to the person you're asking the question, because it's going, sometimes it's demeaning. Yes, when you begin to poke nose, it's demeaning. The question will be different. So if you don't want to seem nosy while being a curious person or being inquisitive, see, it's not a weakness, it's a strength, because it shows you are open to research, it shows you're open to learning, relearn, unlearn, and you know, it shows you're a really open person, and it shows you are ready to grow. And I think it helps bust stereotypes. Yes, like it helps you just think wild, think better. That's the good thing about being curious. It helps you that when people are saying it's all about A, you're like it's all about A, but I know and I feel there's a small letter A behind it, and there's a reason there's a small letter A behind it. Okay, you're not trying to say, okay, since yours is all about A, so I want to just know it in that A and that A and that A, and then you keep poking into people's life. Okay, so it can be very annoying. So you need to tone down your voice when you're trying to be inquisitive. You should know when to say, please excuse me, I know this thing is not really about what we're talking about. That's why I'm going to say you should know the environment you are in, or the circle of situation, what is happening then, so you don't go out of the subject of this discussion, out of the subject, in um, out of the scene or what is happening there. So you tone down your voice and you ask, okay, please, sorry, I know this is not related to this, but I don't know, I just feel I should ask this question now. I just feel it's time to ask this question. How do I go about this, or how does this relate to this, or how does it happen? Why do this happen? You know, stuff like this happen. And somebody who is sensitive or who is ready or willing to answer or respond will say, be like, right, you're right. Um, things like this I don't really know, but you know, the answer comes up. But when you're like, eh, this other stuff, I just remembered how we will. It's going to sound like someone I'm like going to be like, please, we were, how does this relate to what we're discussing, and we're discussing this and this, so how, why did you jump out and all of that. Someone like me, my mind goes wild, so I'm very conscious of when I'm going, I'm going to poke nose into someone's affair or into people's life, and I'm being cautious of when I'm being curious and inquisitive. I ask a lot of questions, and it helps a lot. It helps me a lot not to make mistakes. Okay, and I make mistakes, of course. So respect people's privacy whilst you quench your thirst for knowledge. If you are an inquisitive person, and to avoid being nosy, don't hush the speaker or ask many questions at the same time. Don't hush the speaker, don't stop the person talking, and don't just, even if you were it was in the middle of a discussion and you're like, be like, oh, sorry, excuse me, this thing, something just flashed into my my brain now, my head, my memory, whichever. Something just flashed into my mind right now, and I'm feeling like I should ask this question. Sorry, I may derail, but please, how does this go to this? And your question will be answered, and at the end of the day, be like, okay, and sorry everyone. So can we get back to what we're discussing? Life goes on. So I've seen relationships, I've seen people really fight because of this thing. You think it's something just ordinary, just there, and it's a really, really, really a subject for discussion. Okay, so another thing I think you should put it in a way that it doesn't sound weird. I think I've said everything that just popped up my head this morning. So put it in a way that it doesn't sound weird, that you don't like. Everybody would turn on like, is she okay? And people like, is she okay? Okay, that's simply what I have for you this day. Okay, just sitting right here, and of course, your confident, phenomenal celebrity photographer. That's me, Tini Splash Photography. Just with Tina, Justina Angrica Godwin.